high vibrations, sweet babies. I want to just pop on, give you a short and sweet reading for a very beautiful, powerful Samhain we're having. I have been trying to at least look into a little bit more of the deeper meanings of the Wheel of the Year with the Sabbats and, just connecting with the very natural rhythm of life in the Wheel of the Seasons. And I can't deny this very sensation of like change and growth that just seems to coincide with the way that the Sabbats are lined up and created. Like, the more in flow I feel lately, the more things just make so much sense to me. And I feel like you might be feeling this alongside me, collective, of maybe this new perspective or this new vision, like this crystalline vision is the why. I don't know why that's the way I want to describe it, but it is like this very new way of perspective is clarifying and crystallizing, and it's very in divine timing is the best way that I can say it, because I think what the beautiful energy of Samhain, if we're gonna go with the Sabbats, Halloween, October 31st, from sunset into November 1st is Samhain, and it's this deep recognition for the underworld, as above, so below. What exists in the physical exists in the spiritual. What exists, in the heavens exists in the physical. It's like this very beautiful, duality that I think we can kind of feel into collectively right now as we go through this time. Okay, because let me figure out how I want to best describe this. I really see this being a time where, as a collective, we have been so in flow. We have been, really going through these portals, going through these lessons, undergoing just this really beautiful enlightenment and expansion. And expansion is a big word that's wanted to come out with this reading. And I have been reading all day pretty much. It's the day before Halloween. It's super rainy, super foggy. There's leaves still on the trees, but they're also orange and vibrant red, and it just feels so spooky. And that's it's this the yin energy, the void energy, the stillness. And sometimes it can be a spooky kind of feeling to go really inward and be with that stillness and really feel into the feminine, right? The feminine mystique, the things that can't be explained, the intuition. And we as a collective have been feeling into, 47 has been showing up rampantly to tell us that it's safe to trust our intuition. Not only is it safe to trust your intuition, but yes, your intuition is very strong and powerful in this moment. And we have all been collectively, I'm just going to go ahead and speak for us, friends. We've been putting a lot of intention towards this upcoming 11/11 portal, or at least I certainly have, because I went through that 9/9 portal and I felt so many things break as far as cycles go, as far as contracts go, that were very necessary for me to experience and very enlightening, but also not meant to be contracts that come with me into this new wheel of the season as this wheel turns. And so we've been very intentional, and I've been feeling like it's this same collective kind of with me on this journey. And now, as 11/11 is approaching, there's this really kind of almost eerie pause, this eerie stillness. Maybe it doesn't feel eerie for you, but I'm going to be completely honest, and it feels kind of eerie for me. It is, ooh, yes, like there's a blockage. Like there's this weird pause that feels energetic. It feels mental. It sort of feels almost physical to an extent, where I just feel like it's a surrender, it's a trust, it's a trustful exercise with the divine. And it's very much this call to really go inward and face fears. That's the big thing that's coming through, is like this, those of us who are like truly tapped in, tuned in, turned on, are having like a very different Halloween than everybody else. Like everyone else is doing like, you know, their very cute like Halloween costumes and you know, trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treat is also significant for whatever reason. But yeah, like the free, I don't know, something about trick-or-treat. But anyways, there's this really big emphasis on just like us as a collective are actually feeling into like the true essence of, you know, what might have been the real underworld and the real story, the real like essence to this time of year. And it's like, it's not scary as in horror and gore and all of that, but it's more so scary as in you're facing fears. Because right now, it's like you feel this sort of stillness before you know something is going to start bubbling to life. You're planting seeds for what you want to see expand in 12/12. And 12/12 might be starting to show up for you if it hasn't already, to let you know that you are expanding and that whatever it is that you're planting seeds on is it's going to expand. Like this is worth nurturing and worth tending to and seeing what you can grow with these seeds, right? Because I did this whole conversation. I did this whole this whole analogy in other readings. So if you haven't listened to my readings, I encourage you to go back, especially if you go to the description box. I put all kinds of symbolism, and I really like to just share what kind of symbols I'm feeling into when I'm recording, when I'm editing, what I've seen in the time between. Regardless, if you're seeing anything about planting seeds, it might be significant for your journey. So back on to what I'm saying now, though. 12/12 is here to symbolize that, yes, it is going to expand. This is going to grow to life. This is fertile. And, ooh, interesting. That's a juicy word, but I like it. Anyway, also what's significant is 1/1. So we're going through this 11/11 portal in a few short days, like just over a week. And by then, I anticipate us having a lot of like really magical fucking what the fuck moments. To be honest. I keep saying to be honest because it just is like this, I don't know, you're coming to terms with like this deep inner truth and of your innate capacity, of your infinite potential. That's another thing that's been wanting to come through. 888 and 777 to let you know that the magician is near. That magic energy is near. And it is time to begin working your magic now, friends. Like I said, we're having a different experience collectively like than the traditional Halloween. We're having a spiritual descent into the mystique. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? I feel it, like my collective has been feeling into their primordial like essence, their fucking yes, you know, I don't even need to tell you, you know, because you're trying to move your energy into full harmonious balance, and we're moving towards some soul star center work. And I feel like this is really going to start to take shape and start showing how it's going to actualize as we approach this 11/11 portal. So there's going to be a lot of room for like cool energy with hypnosis, visualizations. There's all kinds of manifestation techniques. I would say that it is a good time to start thinking about your vision board and what things you want to call in. This 1111 portal is going to be coinciding with some Mercury retrograde energy, but it is not to say that you can't begin clarifying or looking at what you need more information on, or looking at the information that you've received and start piecing things together, right? Because if you look at if you go listen to the Mercury retrograde reading that I did, I expressed that there was some like scattered energy, but it wasn't a like negative impact, like detrimental type of energy. It just feels like Mercury is very much wanting you to think about how you're expressing yourself, how you're communicating, what things you're in agreement with, what things you're in a contract with, like spiritually. Because, and this is like very interesting that this is coming through. Because I do feel like there was a lot of energy around certain contracts needing to end and certain contracts that were meant to be very long term. And I do feel like there is something specific that you've been planting seeds on, or you're going to really be intentionally planting seeds on around the time of 11/11. We'll have a full moon before then. I have some readings for that energy coming out soon. So there's just going to be a lot of illuminating, illuminating this very like mystical, magician energy, showing you what is possible, showing you what you're capable of, showing you what magic really is here for you to tap into and connect to. And why, for some reason, does that seem to bring up so much fear? I don't know, but that is the energy that I'm feeling into. And a lot of people will tell you that right before big, beautiful expansion or big, amazing blessings coming to fruition, that we often will feel like this very, I don't know, I do want to say like self-sabotage. It kind of feels like sabotage-y behavior, but it's not like, we ever want to do that to ourselves, but it's this fear, it's this recognition, and what I actually like to call it is a vibrational shift. You're feeling the shift in your vibration. You're feeling the vibration of what you're calling in, maybe meeting you, and like that can be a very if you're tapped in, tuned in, turned on, and you're in the flow, if you have been like vibing and jiving with me, like you're gonna feel it. And it's like, it's an adjustment. It takes an adjustment, but for the most part, I would feel like people find themselves getting fearful and scared. I do this pretty much every fucking time I'm about to have a blessing enter my life, where I start to like have the vibrational shift jitters, and I start to panic, and I start to overthink, and I'm like undoing all this work and all these lessons that I learned. Not really, but that's what it feels like in these moments. And you're like, oh my God, wait, I'm not showing up as my highest and greatest self. Like, what the fuck? I'm getting scared. I'm like, what about all those things I learned? Oh my God, I'm going backwards. And it's like, no, pause. That's what the beauty of the sacred pause is. That's what the beauty of the stillness is. It's to say, hold on a second, let me go inward and remember who the fuck I am, first of all. And let me connect with what I really feel in my core, in my heart of hearts, in my truth of truths, right? The heart behind the heart. Like, we can open the heart space, like really quick, like hand over heart, deep breath in. Let it out, and you feel that expansion. Now think about the space behind what you just expanded. That space that takes so much courage, that place that takes so much vulnerability, and literally starts to activate some of our biggest fears. Like, that's the heart space that I'm trying to show up from on a day-to-day basis. That's how heart-led I want to be. And that it's testing my courage. It's testing my confidence. It's testing the things that I've been working on for the last several months, over a year, of like truly trusting and believing in so many of my things and my passions and my gifts and my talents, and it's activating my witch wound. And it's like, holy, whoa, pause. What do I know to really be true? And I don't mean just like the facts and the statistics and the whatever, but what do I know as my truth? And coming from that place and going from my heart of hearts, that requires a level of courage that I'm very proud of myself to say that I try to tap into, and I have tried to tap into for most of my life. I think it's one of the things that I consider to be like, I don't know. I really, sorry, there's a funky car that just drove by and distracted me. I find myself to be someone who, just because I'm more afraid of what happens if I don't come from my absolute fucking heart, that I somehow have just been able to just come from the heart and be heart-led. But that's not to say that I don't have my fears, I don't have my doubts, I don't have my worries, and I don't overthink. I am human, and I feel all the feelings, and I talk myself out of things sometimes, and I'm hard on myself, and I make mistakes, and sometimes I'm still mad about mistakes that I made like a long, long time ago, and wonder if I'll ever get to a place where I can, like, fully consider myself like, oh, I forgive myself and whatever. Ooh, interesting. This is really like a really interesting place that I'm channeling from. But there is something really beautiful about being human and being clumsy. And I think what matters most is coming back to that place of self-love, of appreciation, of recognition of everything that you've done, we've done as a collective, and realizing what is the potential for you moving forward. So there's a lot of this like crystallization of what you want to see start taking shape towards this 11/11 portal, right? And 12/12 is going to be a moment of expansion. I'm really excited to feel into that in the future. And then, I think sometimes there's this fear of like, okay, I'm facing my fears in order to achieve these things. And now I'm achieving these things, and achieving these things is making me face new fears. And then now, because I've achieved this thing and I'm realizing that it's possible, like literally sometimes it's like scary to see how possible things are and how magic things are. And it takes like literally an adjustment period. And I don't know. This is like a really interesting reading, and I don't know, I'm feeling like a little bit lost. And that's the energy that I'm feeling into, is lost. Feeling a little bit like you've worked so hard, you felt so strongly about so many things. You're really ready to step into some really beautiful things through this 11/11 portal. And yet there's like this energy of pause, this stillness, and it almost feels like it's born out of fear, but then just like blossoms into confusion. And that I empathize with greatly. And I think it's really a beautiful, I feel frustrated. Like, I want to give up on this reading. Holy shit. Wow. I don't usually feel like that. But I feel like that is the energy, is like this feeling of wanting to give up on something, right? Like, we're so fucking close to this portal, and I want to see what happens when I don't give up. I'm going to call for this energy for us, collective. Like, I don't know if you even, like, heard me tap on my phone. Like, I was that close to just being like, no, fuck this. But, like, no. I'm going to harness this for us, collective. You know the drill. If you've been listening before, if you want to receive this. And you can do so even more by interacting and sharing some love and appreciation so that others can find this reading. And that really greatly is an energy exchange for me. But in and of itself, receive this. Whatever it is that you have been planting seeds on, and you've been showing up, you've been fucking showing up. It is about to be called forth, and it's calling upon a greater expanded version of yourself that might be a little uncomfy as you start to shift into and step into, but you're worth it. You are worth it. Oh my God, you're worth it, you know? And you deserve it. And now is not the time to disbelieve in the magician. And the magician is all about illusions and tricks. And in my experience with the magician, it's not trying to trick you. It's trying to see how many tricks you play on yourself. Sometimes the best illusionist doesn't need to even play any tricks because people are so busy talking themselves into all these different stories. And this is where the stillness and this beautiful sacred pause is asking us to really look into and connect with, and connect into this internal world, this internal wisdom, and bring that into this full moon, and let that be the space that you operate from as you have the full moon illuminate what you're trying to crystallize. The full moon is on the 5th, I believe. 5th or 6th. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I know I'm going to be away for a day on the full moon, so I think it's the 5th. But you know, that's going to be very illuminating. I feel like that's going to be a time when your 1111 magic is really going to be so crystal clear to you. And you know, right now it feels a little scary almost to trust so deeply in your magic. It feels scary to trust so deeply in your gifts and your intuition. But this is where it's just getting really juicy. And if you choose to step through this portal with me, I think it's safe to say that 1-1 is okay. So here's the thing. Okay, so there's like this fear about like how much potential there really is for you to cultivate magic and beautiful things. It's like almost scary how much expansion you feel inside yourself, and also like you kind of realize like you're not even close to finish yet. Like you realize, wait, hold up, there's more. Like I have even more that I can pour into this, even more that I can give to this. And there's almost like a fear of like, hold on, if I really accept that, if I really receive that, if I really recognize that I have this much infinite, right? Yes, infinite, it doesn't end. There's that much potential that by accepting this, there's going to be a lot more to do. And sometimes that in itself is a scary part that people talk themselves out of. It's like, do I expand? Because then I'm only going to see what's beyond that horizon. Horizon is significant too. And I just encourage you to just see, you know, like just see what happens when you just say, fuck it, I'm going to continue on this journey that I have been on. Fuck it, I'm going to just continue moving forward and see what happens if I don't give up. And there might be this sort of feeling of like, okay, now what? Like, and then what? Like, I've accepted that this beautiful magician energy is waving its wand and it's going to work magic over whatever I'm planting seeds on. But like, now what? And then that's where like the beautiful, never-ending, evolving journey begins yet again with 1-1. And we're asked once again to go forward on a journey of evolving as a person. And I really think like if you walk through this portal where it's easy to get tricked by fears and illusions and confusions and other people's horror stories and the oogly booglies and the spooks of it all, you know, we'll forget that this was a journey of your highest self. This was a heart-led journey that brought you here. It didn't bring you here for you to be terrified and to leave you in the dust. Like, you didn't come this far just to come this far. Like, and it is maybe more empowering to just believe that on the other side of this fear is everything that you've been praying for. And I deeply, deeply feel like it's been something that you've been genuinely praying for. And there's been a lot of 333. There's been a lot of 222, 1212, 27, 47. Like I said, a lot of 47s. And also 1414, which is, I did look up the meaning. It's about asking you to take action. Not only to take action, but to use your voice. So speak on things. There might be a conversation that could lead to drastic change, okay? 27 is also significant. Lots of 7s, okay? 7s are near because the magician is near, okay? 888 to remind us of our infinite potential, okay? I did see some 999s, meaning that cycles are being broken, okay? And I did see a lot of 444s, which means you are protected, as well as 17s. Today I have been channeling, and your girl's been busy. I was at a photo shoot. I drove down towards like more towards Massachusetts. Oh, I hope I'm not gonna get kicked out of here. Okay, I think we're good. I've been a busy girl, so you know, I was having a lot of things come in, and I'm very grateful for it because I really wanted to do a Samhain reading because of this this juicy connection that I've been feeling towards the wheel of the season and these portals, and it all just feels so divinely aligned and so divinely timed. And I trust in that, and I believe in that, and I'm cultivating that energy. And when I tell you that all that fear that I was channeling into when I said I'm doing this for us, left. When I come from that place of I have to call forth this energy for us, collective, for us who were on this journey together. And I'm not gonna, you know, just like stop now. Ooh, yes, exactly. This is where it's gonna get juicy. And it's like, okay, I accept that it's going to get juicy, but you're still not sure what it's going to look like. And you're still sort of calling forth where do I go from here? There was a lot of 000s for some of the collective prior of like a clean slate of something being new again, something starting and something finishing, like all in the same circle, right? It's like the cycle of life. And so there's like this kind of clean slate, like open canvas of like, what do I do? Where do I want to go? And maybe you're starting to have those ideas and those things come to you. But I feel like for a lot of collective, there is a little bit of a disillusionment, a little bit of a haze, a little bit of a fog that's still needing to be lifted around what that truly looks like. And this is the time to be specific. This is the time to utilize this magician energy and realize that, and so it is. Like if you wanted to be filled with really deep family connection and a lot of like love sitting around a table, like, and so it is. If you want it to be material, if you want it to be feeling like you have a lot of resources and foundation and stability, it's already yours, you know? That's the feeling, is like, whatever you're afraid of that you're aligning with and you're literally matching the vibration with, there's no need to fear. Be not afraid, babe. It's already yours. It's already yours. Okay. So just remember that crown center space that you've been coming from. Bring back your shoulders, sit up tall, recognize what you have done in these portals, the work that you've done internally that is now starting to manifest and expand into its actuality. That's kind of freaky deaky, you know what I mean? But in reality, like, it's beautiful. So don't be disillusioned. It means that it's only gonna get more fucking groovy from here, friends. I can't wait to see what 1-1 brings for you. I can't wait to see what you're ready to accept and call in when you get through this part of the journey that's like, okay, but what is it really going to look like? What is it going to take of me? What is it going to require for me to do? What am I going to have to give up in the future? Like, there's a lot of things that come with a journey of creating a life intentionally and recognizing that it will always come with challenges and hardships and pain. But do not be tricked by your fears in this time and space. Now is when you can truly step through the portal and recognize, I sound so fucking woo-woo, and you know what? Take me as I am. I am as I am that I am. I am as I am. It is what it is. Okay, so step through knowing who you are, and to take the time to really connect back to all of that, because this pause is for that. This pause is for you to feel into that. The full moon is literally the time of the lunar cycle, which is a 28-day long cycle. And it is the full moon in Taurus, okay? It is telling you, baby, kick back, kick your feet up, have a good meal, take care of the home. What do you have to do around the house? It's asking you to be here in the physical. It's asking you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's asking you to realize what you are worth and your value. And it's going to illuminate even more of what you're ready to call in under this 11/11 portal. But it's the time of the lunar cycle that asks for you to be still, have gratitude, give gratitude for all the things that you have around you, all the 3D things, all of the material things. Don't lose sight of how valuable and how precious the things are in your life, in your current reality, as you step through a portal of creating whatever it is that you want out of your reality. Go forward, go forth, my friend. Go forward with gratitude. Take this time to pause and to be with yourself, and to witness yourself, and to witness what you've accomplished, and to take time, cleanse your space, release your fears, release your thoughts about, what you don't have or what you can't achieve or anything like that. It's not the time for that. It is a time to be still. It is a time to release and be open. Openness, open and expansion as we move towards this 11/11 portal. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, my friends. I feel like I covered a lot of things that were coming through, and I don't want it to get dragged on too long. I think this is really just the message. So I'm sending you all my lovin'. Happy Halloween, or happy Samhain, however you are going through the October 31st beautiful darkest time. It's not the darkest time, actually. It's when we come around and we just went through the darkest time, right? No, we enter the darkest time. I'm sorry. I'm still learning, friends. I'm still learning, okay? That's another message, is that you're still learning. You're still a human. You're still going to be evolving. You're always going to be evolving. But you get to have this beautiful, just infinite loop. It's an infinity sign. Okay, all right. It's time for me to go. Bye-bye.